I've kept a journal since I was about 10 years old. I'm 24 years old now, and these are all of them. So let me talk to you about why I think journaling is such an important and a very integral part of my life. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're having a wonderful day so far. Let me know what you think about my little paperboy hat. This is actually such a cute hat. Don't know how I feel about it being in a slick back though. Like, I am giving paperboy, but when I have my hair out and down, like, it's not really too much paperboy. But anyways, so today I wanted to talk to you guys about journaling. I have been a journaler since I can remember. I've always kept some form of a logbook from a very early age. The earliest that I've got here is dated from 2011. So I was about 10 years old at the time, and I've counted it. I have 14 journals to date. Of course, there have been gaps where I haven't written as much, or I've taken breaks for prolonged periods of time, but all in all, it's still a lot of work, and it is a very big record of my life, which I'm very appreciative of. I don't know necessarily why I started journaling. I think it was just an avenue for me to express myself. As a child, I think that I just craved that need to communicate and express. I've always been the type of person that loves to talk. And as a child, I love to talk about myself. So from like very early ages, of course, like these are the first journals that I've had. These 4 here, I'll show you the covers of them because they're just so cute. So I've got this Disney Junior one, Littlest Pet Shop, H2O, and Bratz. Of course, these are very, very accurate reflections of who I was at the time without even needing to flip through the actual pages. You can just tell straight away that these were the diaries of a very young girl. I won't say that there was very in-depth reflection. A lot of it is, drawings and kind of very biased storytelling, or retellings, I should say, of my days or my weekends, my relationships. Like, reading through some of these is actually hilarious, and it's funny to me because I don't remember writing these entries, and yet they are very true to me. I couldn't believe that I was saying this as a 10-year-old. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was hating on some people in these books. Anyways, I'll show you some of the some of the pages. This one, sadly, I've obviously ripped a lot of pages out as I was journaling. I used to love to write stories as well, so this is, I had a lip balm list. It's honestly just hilarious to look through. I absolutely love it. Like, it is so great. I would highly encourage anyone who has a child or has a niece or nephew or whatever the case is, give them a journal and just let them run wild with it. They don't have to have any restrictions. They can do absolutely whatever, and trust me, if they get to keep that journal with them through their lives, they will look back on it and it'll just bring them so much joy, I promise you. So I kept those journals from, about age 10, 11. And then when I was about 14, I picked up another journal. So this was the first one that I would say really kicked off my proper journaling experience. This one, I remember I actually got this from Officeworks, and I absolutely loved it because I just thought that the cover was so funky. I printed these off from, I think it would have been like Tumblr or Pinterest or We Heart It, if anyone remembers that platform. And because I was about 13 at the time, my first journal entry was from the 3rd of the 9th, 2014. This is genuinely the most well-preserved artifact, if you can even call it that, of my life. I have photos, I have receipts, I have letters, my own thoughts and reflections from the day in here. I don't know why, like, these are from times where I was just so young, and this is just hilarious to me. This is actually hilarious. And it's so much fun to look back on these, even though I was so young and in hindsight didn't have as big of problems. I obviously thought that the world was going to end, you know, at any given moment. And this book is just a reflection of that. It's so funny. I would write down like all my favorite quotes. One of them is, "You are evidence that you don't get to choose who you love in life." Like, what are you talking about, girlfriend? Just hilarious. I would rage in these. I would write my love letters and I would also rage. It was just funny. So I absolutely loved that one. And then this is the next one that I kept. Little hardcover. I do love my hardcovers, as you'll see throughout this collection. Now this one is a lined journal, and very wise of me, I wrote on the front page, "What you don't express, you repress," which I still stand by that to this day. So I started keeping this journal in 2016, which was it was quite a big year for me. I had like my first boyfriend around that time. So for me, having a journal was imperative. I personally didn't really have anyone in my life at that time who was an idol for me, I would say, or someone that I could look up to, someone that I could talk to. So having a journal was literally my best friend. And I figured out a lot of stuff, or at least I would like to think that I figured out a lot of stuff through having these journals. Like I would write love letters that I would never give to people. And I would keep photos, and again, I would like absolutely, you know, rage in some of these, but it was just, I don't know, so gorgeous. Like again, I've got photos of when I was, can you see that? I've got photos in here from when I was, you know, 15 and 16, and first moments and all that sort of thing, which, because I have preserved them through the form of written word, I can remember them so fondly. Whereas if I hadn't written any of this stuff down, I genuinely don't know how well I would be able to reflect on these moments. A lot of them were really big things, like, you know, going for like my driver's lesson, like graduating year 12 and having friendship tribulations, all that sort of thing, like trying to get a first job, going to uni. Like these were all things that I really struggled with at the time, like I think a lot of young people do. And genuinely, I don't know how I would have gotten through life if I didn't have this journal. This one is definitely a lot more like written word. There is photos in there too, but yeah. Oh, this is my next one. I absolutely love this journal because I was gifted this one, and it is kind of coming apart actually, which is a little bit sad. A lot of these I haven't touched in a very long time. One thing about me is like, once I'm done with the journal, like I'll put it away. I will go back to them maybe like every couple of years just to kind of flip through them, but it's not a very regular thing that I do. But nevertheless, like I just love keeping them anyways. This one's also very much a lot of like written word. There is also like, I remember I used to have this up on my bedroom wall when I was like 16. in my childhood home. So again, it's like mementos of things, tangible things, if I could put them in here, from very special points in my life. And because I don't, even to this day, I don't have a very rigid formula to how I utilize my journals. It's just like, if I have to write something down, I'll put it down. I don't have a method to it. I know that some people kind of have like a ecosystem that they like to go through, which is very beautiful. And it means that everything looks cohesive and it's an easier way to kind of sort through your ideas, especially if you need to refer back to them at a later date. But for me personally, like, you know, I've got things in here, like I would write down what I wanted to order from a Muscle Nation sale, and like I would come up with ideas of, like, you know, clothing brands that I wanted to start, which I never ended up doing. Manifestations, which is cool. My grocery list. Again, these are all things that inevitably change with time. But because I can look back on what I wanted to buy from Coles at the age of 18 or 19 is pretty cool. This is the next one that I have. This one's just so funny to me. So this actually was my air freshener in my old car. And I just had it hanging up for such a long time because I love Jamae. I absolutely love Jamae. This one's definitely like way more dense. And because I didn't have like a designated junk journal, if I had anything I wanted to put in a book, it would all go into one book. So this as well is a lot of written stuff, but like also really, I would just like stick stuff in there. I've got like wristbands from festivals that I would go to, more like random stuff. Yeah. Wow. Like, just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful stuff that otherwise probably would have just gone into the bin, right? So, yeah. I don't even know what this is from. I've got some hair in here in the back of this book. I don't know whose hair that is. Maybe it's my hair. I actually don't know, to be fair with you. I've got this yellow journal. A lot of these journals, I actually think I just got them from Kmart. This is like the inside cover. Again, like wristbands from festivals and like concerts that I would go to. I treasure my journals because I treat them like a best friend. I treasure them so much. Like, I absolutely divulge all information into these journals, and every single thought that I've ever had is in here. And I think that's both a beautiful and very terrifying thing. Which, if you keep a journal, you can probably understand why. I don't know. I don't even know what some of these like entries are, to be fair with you. But nevertheless, these are photos of me from when I had red hair. Bring back the red hair. This is one from 2022. Again, more wristbands, like very, I guess I was really like a partier at this stage of life. Oh, well, I was, yeah. Like, I was going out and wanting to party. Like, I don't know what the fuck. I was obviously working in retail. Again, it's just accurate reflections of what I was doing. This is a entry from October 18, 2022. My goals for the day was clean my fucking room, wash bed sheets, train back and biceps, write a new split, and oh, I won't say those last ones. This is a letter from Declan from when we first started dating. So cute, like, just such beautiful stuff. And as you can see, like, it just brings such a smile to my face. Absolutely love it. This one, she's a chunky one. I think this is 2023. Yeah, 2023. Again, like more letters and stuff in here. Wow. This one is probably the best version of like a junk journal and just everyday journal combined. And this one I really did not give a fuck about. Like, I would rip pages out of here. I would glue stuff down. Like, it was just awesome. I absolutely loved this journal. You know, like this is like, for me, like this is genuinely what I really, really enjoy. I love when people do like real beautiful spreads in their journals. And I think that is so, so beautiful. And it's definitely an art, 110%. But I also think it's really cool to see the more raw and unfiltered stuff. This is like photos of Declan and I and little, you know, love notes that he's left me, which is really cute. Oh, some of the pages won't turn. Here are some like fruit stickers. I still collect fruit stickers to this day in the current journal that I have. Some pen pal letters from my beautiful pen pal, Sarah. I love this. And I've got a couple of little stickers on here. I've got a big ribbon as well. So yeah, I don't know how I was carrying this one around. I don't know if I really was, to be fair with you. This is my current journal that I have. It's decked out in stickers. How beautiful. I love it. And I'm nearly finished this journal, so, which is a little bit sad because I have absolutely loved this one. I've gotten so much use out of it. This one has definitely been just like a written journal. I do have a couple of pages of things that are glued in, but I very quickly realized that I didn't want to actually make this one super thick because I did want to carry it around, and obviously the thicker that the journal is, the harder it is to be able to do that. But yeah, I would put like little peanut butter stickers, like just random stuff. You can do whatever you want. There's no rules when it comes to this because theoretically you're the only person that's going to look at it, right? Which actually does bring me to my next point, even though I have been rambling for like the past 20 minutes. Brings me to my next point. A lot of people get quite nervous when they think about, for example, someone finding their journal, reading it, exposing all of their secrets. So maybe that affects the way that they release all of their inner turmoil or maybe just their inner thoughts. Personally, I don't think that should hold you back. This is your avenue. Sorry if you can hear Frodo snoring. He's literally leaning against my back. This is your avenue. This is the one thing where you can really let loose. Like, I don't know if you maybe have someone that you talk to, like a confidant that you talk to, who maybe does know every single part of you, who you can have unfiltered. But if you don't, then this needs to be your person. Even though it is an inanimate object, this is your person. Treat it as such. Because really, you're talking to yourself. So you can be as kind with yourself as possible. And you don't have to hold back. I think that when it comes to journaling, the more that you think about it, even if it's like, oh, I'm trying to make my handwriting nice, I want this to be nice and presentable, like, the more that you think about it, the more room there is for you to not express yourself as freely. And I think that when you do express yourself freely, that is when you have your biggest revelations, when you have your best ideas. And you never know, even if you don't find much resolution in that moment, you might look back on the journal in like 2 years' time or 5 years' time or 10 years' time, and it might help you then. That's the thing, you just never know. And in a way, it's almost like your own guidebook because you can reflect on things that you've done in the past. Like, I've recorded down all of my successes, all of my mistakes, like literally every single thing that I've ever done in my life. in these books, and to be able to read them now as a 24-year-old is a very, very beautiful thing. I wouldn't trade this experience for anything else. I think that having a journal is such a beautiful and very, very enriching process to have in your life. Even if you journal for 5 minutes a day or you journal for 50 minutes, like, it doesn't matter. It all adds up, and it's genuinely such a therapeutic thing to do. For me, like, I've tried, you know, I have tried like clinical aspects. I've gone to psychologists, I've been to counselors, and personally, I just never found one that really fit well with me. I know that there are some awesome ones out there, so please don't take that as any disregard at all, because I was in search of those really great people, and I just didn't find one that clicked, which is why I kept using these journals, because that was the thing that got me through. You can use them as photo books, you can use them for whatever reason. If you're starting a business, or if you're pursuing a new hobby or a new passion, or you're starting a new sport, or you're trying out the gym, or you are testing a recipe, like, these are really great ways to be able to, again, go back and reflect on what you've done, what worked, what didn't work, so that you can move forward with the future. I think this is such a great character building exercise. I highly, highly recommend it to everyone, absolutely everyone. Even if you don't think that you like to write or want to write, I encourage you, like, just try it. You never know, you might find that you actually do really enjoy it. Like anything in life, try it at least once. And if you've tried it and it's not for you, then that's okay, because you can say that you've tried it and you know. But if you haven't, then please, it doesn't even have to be a pretty notebook. Like, literally just pick up a piece of paper and start word vomiting. If you don't know what to write, just talk about your day. What happened today? What happened yesterday? What happened on the weekend? What was the most recent impactful thing that has happened to you? Or what do you find intriguing about the world? Got cut off, sorry. There are so many available prompts to us all over the internet now that are super, super helpful and very insightful, or very, very creative. The internet is your friend. You can utilize it as such. So please, if there's anything that you take from this video, pick up a piece of paper and pen and just start writing. You might really thank yourself in 10 or 15 years time, when you can reflect back on your life and see how much progress you've made. Even if it doesn't feel like it today, you'll be surprised with how much you've grown in such a short amount of time. So with that, I will conclude today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I also hope that you have taken something from this, whether it be a piece of entertainment or maybe a little bit of encouragement. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next one, and lots of love. All right.